Ohio State and Cincinnati, 50 years since the two teams met in the NCAA tournament. They meet on Thursday. Is there a better low post matchup in the tournament, would you say, than Yancey Gates against Jared Sullinger?
Well, it's intriguing in that Gates physically is big enough to match up with Sullinger, and so Sullinger's not going to be able to kind of throw his weight around literally or metaphorically. You know, Gates is not going to be intimidated going straight up with him. So, yeah, I do think that that's a really good matchup. You bring up the fact they haven't played in 50 years. That's certainly not by Cincinnati's choosing. I guess they did play once in the non-conference about 5-6 years ago, but in terms of playing in the NCAA tournament, obviously it's been 50 years, and certainly Cincinnati would like to be on Ohio State's schedule, but it's not necessarily in Ohio State's best interest to put them on it, and so they haven't been, and so this is the chance here. I mean, this is part of what makes the tournament's so great. I mean, to have an in-state game like this, a game with incredible historic relevance. You know, you mentioned it was 50 years ago. They played 2 years in a row in the national championship game, and each year Cincinnati won it. Those were great Ohio State teams with Jerry Lucas, who was one of the truly incredible college players of all time. I mean, just a fabulous player. And John Havlicek and Bob Knight, of course, was on those teams as a reserve. And I mean, these are truly great teams. These are the teams that people talk about in Columbus, you know, still 50 years later. And Cincinnati beat them. So, you know, is there a revenge factor for Jared Sullinger, for William Buford? No, obviously not. They don't care. But in terms of the bragging rights within the state, it's a pretty cool game. I mean, it's really neat to see this opportunity.
Who would you say is more important to their team? Because obviously, when you think of Ohio State, you think of Jared Sullinger. You think of Cincinnati, you think of Yancey Gates. Who would you say is more important to the team of those two competitors?
Yeah, you know, that's interesting. I actually feel like when I think about Cincinnati, I think about guard play. I mean, I think Gates is part of what makes them go, and they wouldn't be able to succeed at the level they have been able to without him. But, I mean, I think about, you know, Dixon and Kilpatrick. I mean, I guess to me, if you were to say define Cincinnati, I'm not sure I'd define them necessarily with Yancey Gates, though I do think he's probably their best player. I think Sullinger much more equates to being the face of Ohio State.
So would you say that position by position, Cincinnati then has the edge over Ohio State?
No. I would not say that. Okay. I like the style that Cincinnati plays. You know, they're really physical. They're going to pressure you defensively. They don't turn it over a lot. I mean, I think they do a lot of things well, but Ohio State definitely has better talent. But as we've seen in this tournament, that doesn't necessarily mean you win the game.